Welcome to the LinkedIn strategy session. Today is 2/5/2025, and here we teach you how to go from a lurker to an influencer in 15 minutes a day. If you've watched this before, you'll know that most people on LinkedIn are absent. They have an account, but they're not logging in on a regular basis. It's because they're missing the awareness of how powerful LinkedIn is. If you're a lurker, that means you're watching and you're not taking action. It's because you don't have the right plans, the right tools, the right hacks to work smarter. If you're a networker and you're just dabbling, then you're missing that accountability to meet with the right group of people on a regular basis. And if you're an influencer, it's all about giving back and making a difference. Today, we're going to teach you how to be able to create a strategy, make sure that you have all the right assets in place, and then we're going to give you a plan to take action on a regular basis. And we're going to have a conversation about what issues you have right now to make sure that you're not stuck and that you can consistently be able to generate leads. Recently, my account got restricted from LinkedIn, and I'm still not over the restriction because they haven't even given me back all my followers. They take some time to give you back your followers. I'll stop sharing my screen for a second, and I just want you guys to look around the room and see how amazing this is, that we have some incredible human beings from all walks of life that are here right now. Wow, this is amazing. Every person here has a network of 250 people minimum. Think about that. Every one of you has a network of 250 people minimum. You guys can tap into each other's network. We're building something really powerful. My dream is to have 1,000 engaged LinkedIn users working together to each generate at least $100,000 in profit in each other's business. If you have 1,000 people in your life that you can tap into, that's just a powerful thing, but it's doable. It's doable to have 1,000 connections that you know. It might not be doable to have 30,000 connections that you know because our brains can't handle it. There's an anthropologist called Robin Dunbar that did a study that the average human being can only have 150 relationships at one time in their life. You can't really handle more than 150 relationships, but that's average. We're not average. We are super connectors. We are people that can do 10x the average. But I'm not saying 1,500. Let's do 1,000. 1,000 is an important number in the Bible because 1,000 leads you to a million. Whenever the Bible wants to say a million, it says 1,000,000. So I say 1,000 is the minimum. If you don't have 1,000 followers on LinkedIn, then make it your goal for the next 30 days, the next 60 days, to get 1,000 followers that are strategic for your business. 1,000 connections becomes 1,000 followers. It's the only platform in the world where you can have 1,000 people that you message, that you connect with, and they become your follower. That's powerful. So I want you guys just to think about and honor the people around you because the people around you are people that are willing to get on the phone with you. If you need to book 50 conversations with people that are in the position to refer business to you, you can do that just through our community alone. That's the power of the benefit. Like, for example, Tina Larson, she lives in New York City, right, Tina? Tina's right here, front and center. Tina lives in New York City, and she works with people that have co-ops and condos in New York City. Everybody knows somebody that lives in New York City. Everyone knows somebody that lives in New York City, and many of them own a co-op or a condo or on the board of a co-op and a condo. So she can tap into her global network of tens of thousands of people in her that she influences because she learned how to use LinkedIn and she's been part of this community for years. And every single time she comes here, she learns something new. Evan is a health coach. He coaches successful women on how to be able to take their health to the next level. He's also coaching my brother, who's not a woman, but my brother lost a ton of weight and is feeling healthier than ever. But he coaches successful people to be able to take their life. Evan runs an accountability group on Tuesday at 5 p.m. You guys should join that. Put it on your calendar. Join that. He also runs a little posting party on that accountability group so that you can engage and comment on each other's stuff. It could be fun. 5 p.m. every Tuesday. I would come, but every Tuesday I have dinner with my kids at 5 p.m. So if I happen not to have dinner, I will show up to that, but I prioritize my children. And I have my own posting parties that we do as well. So I want you guys just to take a moment and think about being strategic on LinkedIn is not about going viral. I recently went viral and my account got restricted, I think because I went viral. 2.1 million people saw my post. 5,000 people liked it. 5,000 people liked it. I got zero business from it. I just got annoyed because my account got restricted. On the other hand, I posted something this morning and I already got a lead. Let me show you. I'm going to show you right now because this is strategic. So I'm going to pull up my LinkedIn account right here. This is my LinkedIn account. I only have 37,000 followers. I really have 50,000, but they're just restoring it slowly. Can you guys see my follower numbers here? Under where it says followers? You guys can see that, right? So I want you guys just to have a limited amount of action items that you're going to take as a result of this strategy session. The first one's going to be create a strategy, but let me just quickly show you right here what happened. So I'm going to click on view all posts just to show you something. And today I'm going to be wanting to talk about stories. I'm going to want to talk about a bunch of things. But I just posted this 13 minutes ago. I got 16 impressions. LinkedIn just started sending this out. I also posted an hour ago. I got 300 impressions. This right here, someone already reached out to me and said, Joe, can you please speak for my organization? Because I showed that I'm a speaker. You see this? I'm telling the story that I'm a speaker. My goal is to do more speaking engagements. So if you have a picture of yourself in front of a group, even if you didn't speak in front of the group, people will hire you to speak for their organization. So make sure next time you go to a networking event, get in front of the group as your elevator pitch. Say, hey guys, I just want to take a selfie with all of you here. Can you all look at the camera and make believe I'm talking to you? And then you just take a selfie and have a good day. And now you have a selfie in front of a group. If you guys were on the Marketers Cruise, you might remember that I got up on stage and I took a selfie with all of you. And people look at that and they're like, holy crap, the guy spoke at the Marketers Cruise? I didn't really speak at the Marketers Cruise, but people think I did. I have a thing of me squatting with my daughter on my shoulders. I put this up. 130 people saw this. I put up an animated GIF. 900 people saw this. You see? So this I did 2 hours ago. This I did 1 hour ago. And this I did for 13 minutes ago. All these posts are going to get on average 1,000 impressions. Every single post that I put up. Because it's not about trying to go viral. It's about getting the right people to see them. And each one of them has a different purpose. They're all telling my story, and they're all telling my stories to different people that resonate with them. This is a short video of me just running. This is pictures of me speaking. This is of me and my family. And this is an animated GIF to show you how animated GIF works. Okay, so let me just show you real quick how a strategy works. So if you go to strategy.evyai.com/plan, this is what a plan looks like. All of you should already have access to evergreen.com where you have all the frameworks, right? You guys have access to evergreen.com. When you log into evergreen.com, you have access to the frameworks. You just put in your username and password. It used to be that people would have to fill out the frameworks manually. Now we have artificial intelligence that could help you be able to fill out all your frameworks and all your information. But if you click on the branding section, which is plan, you'll see a 10-minute video that explains how to create a plan, a business plan, a marketing plan, and a LinkedIn plan. Okay, this explains it. And by the way, here is also your business networking one sheet is here as well, the Canva template for it. But you'll see we have a framework for this. And then I created a framework with AI that you just fill in your information. You put your 3-year plan, your why, your revenue and goal profit, your revenue and profit goals, your lifestyle, then your 1-year plan of how many clients you need, revenue per client, average lifetime value, cost per acquisition, and then your LinkedIn plan, which includes your daily activities, what you're going to do, your expected outcomes, the support system that you have, and what you're going to do in the next week. And when you hit submit, it creates a whole plan for you. Now, do you have a plan or do you need a plan? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to put this in the chat, the link in the chat, so you guys can store it for yourself for later. Do you guys need a plan or do you have a plan? If you need a plan, it's not rocket science to create a plan. Just come to the accountability meeting and together you guys can create the plan or find a few people here that you can network with, build relationships with to build your plan. Now, if you need to update your plan, everyone needs to update their plan regularly because your plan is a moving plan depending on what happens in your life. Your plan's not, that's why I created the landing page where you can go there and when you fill in your information, it saves it into the page temporarily, but then you copy all that information, put it into a Word doc or wherever you store your plan. Put the plan somewhere safe that you have it, and then you can kind of go in there, modify it, and play with it. You guys get it? We all need a plan. This is the basic of every business. If you don't have a business plan, if you don't know where you're going, you might get somewhere else. To create a business plan, some people charge tens of thousands of dollars just to create a business plan. I'm giving you a business plan, a marketing plan, and a LinkedIn plan in one page. It should take you about 15 minutes to fill it out. And when you hit submit on that marketing plan, look what happens. Look what AI does. So I'm going to hit submit because it remembered what I typed in last time. I'm going to hit submit plan. It's going to send the plan to my AI. And what my AI is going to do is it's going to analyze everything that I wrote here, and it's going to give me a thorough plan based on what I wrote here. And if I change any of these variables, the entire plan will change. The entire business plan, marketing plan, and LinkedIn plan will change. Once you have this done, you will be able to use this as a base to create anything you want in your life. Here's your plan and vision. evyAI is the #1 sales assistant supporting coaches, business consultants, and sales professionals with their content, networking, prospecting, and marketing. We combine AI assistance with human support. We help clients generate 100K in new profit. With over 10,000 paying customers utilizing the system daily, we have an ecosystem. So this is my vision for 3 years from now. You see? That's my vision. My target audience, my core expertise, my key differentiator, my value proposition, my business goals, a financial analysis of my business, my lifestyle integration, my weekly time allocation, my content creation schedule, my client acquisition based on 1,000 clients, 90-day LinkedIn strategy, my supporting activities, all the people on my team and what they're going to be doing. You see that? My weekly action plan, my content calendar, my engagement targets, everything is here. This all gets done for you in just a few seconds. And if you change any variable, all this changes. Is this useful for you? Unbelievable, right? Just done for you. There's no other system in the world that I know that can give you the framework and get it all done for you so you have your plan. You don't have to overthink it. A lot of people, boom, just like that. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
What's the URL again? How do I find it?
Yes, strategy.evyai.com/plan. I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat for you, Tina. So just click on that, bookmark it, and then have it. It's yours. Okay? We're going to be integrating this into evyAI, but my development team is busy with the side panel, so they don't have the time to integrate all the different things that they need to integrate. So it takes them time to do the things that I give them to do. So then I create my own version of it that uses a make.com backend, and it doesn't save anything to the database. So whatever you put in there, save somewhere else because nothing is being saved to a database. Get it? It's all raw using my own ChatGPT API key, raw. Okay. This is just an incredible thing. The second thing that I give you for your strategy is finding your target market. You need to know who you're targeting, right? Who are the people? So it used to be that you would have a heartache to get this done. Now you fill in what is your industry experience for yourself? What is your expertise? What markets do you have experience with? What do you feel has the most potential? What communities are you part of? What niches would you do well in? What are your demographics, the age, the title of the people you want to target, the genders, the income levels, the psychographics, the way people think? What are their opinions? What activities are they busy with? What are their behaviors like? What publications do they read? Then where are they physically located and what communities are they part of? What associations are they part of? What groups do they belong to? And then who is your center of influence, the people that are in the position to refer business to you? Fill in those little squares there. I'm going to put this link as well. It's just /people. And then when I hit submit here, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to send all this information to the AI, and it's going to produce yummy, yummy in my tummy things. Guys, write yummy in the chat if you think this is yummy. Because this will, and again, you can come up with multiple target markets with this. You start with one, and then you change the answers, and you're going to get different target markets. This, my friends, again, is something else that people charge tens of thousands of dollars just to this, and they make you crazy to spend months doing this. When I say, guys, let's cut through the clutter and just get it all done in 15 minutes. Watch the short video in Evyrgreen under people, get this done, and it's done. And people are just like, oh my God, I can't believe you did it so quick. Greg says, do I have a evergreen.com? Click. Okay, so look what this is. It shows me the segment: coaches, consultants, sales trainers, marketing leaders, CEOs, market size estimates, growth potential, competition level, entry barriers, ideal client profile. Could you imagine you have this whole persona? Instead of McKinsey doing it for you, we'll do it for you right here. Pain points. Do we show their pains? Their decision-making factors, their buying behavior, suggested LinkedIn segments, including location, industry, job titles, groups, activity levels, message to send them, networking strategy, referral network, including the networking approach, the value proposition to referrers, your CIO, your COIs, action plan, step by step weekly, and success metrics. All that is right here done for you, just like that. Okay, so all that's available to you right now. I didn't write down the place to go. Don't worry about this. All the notes for this are going to be available, and you're going to have the replay as well. I'm going to put the link to the Evyrgreen networking course that you guys got access to right here so that you can go there and watch this course. It has 9 modules. Plan. We discussed plan. It has the people module. You can watch this, the people module. And then it has the promise module. The promise module is where you're going to create your messaging that's going to be the foundation for everything. And we all need good messaging, right? So how do we create good messaging? We're going to do the same thing with a framework, just like this. We're going to go to pitch. We're going to go to /pitch. I'm going to put in the pitch here. And you're going to put in your target market persona. You're going to put in the title that you're targeting. So, for example, I'm going to do sales trainers. And then industry, the pain that they have, their goals, their dreams, and their fears. You might not have the perfect pains, goals, and dreams and fears, but don't worry. When you fill this out, we're going to give you a thorough list of pains, goals, dreams, and fears. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit framework, and it's going to do the same thing. But it's going to do it using the Alex Hormozi method of $100 million offers that will teach you how to be able to determine which pains, goals, dreams, and fears are most likely that you can monetize, and also be specific measurements and be specific with that's metric driven. You want things that are metric driven. So look at this, the pains, the goals, the dreams, the fears, all done for you. Every one of these pieces is a piece of content. Every one of these pieces is a piece of content for you. So do this, metric driven transformation, current state, target metrics, so you can make promises to people. This helps you make the promise, right? I'll help you increase your leads by 50% over 6 months because this is the issue they're dealing with. Again, this is all strategy. Perfect pitch variations. We help sales trainers by developing effective LinkedIn strategies to achieve profitable company so that they can retire with wealth while avoiding the fear of going broke. You see that? We even give you a content matrix with every piece of content you might need to talk about all the different things they care about related to their dreams, goals, pains, and fears. Kendall says, where did you get the inputs for the form, the persona? If you watch this video, I tell you how to do that. It's an 8-minute video, Kendall. You could just make it up. You don't have to get the inputs from anywhere specific. You could make it up, and then we will perfect it using AI. Okay, you just make up whatever you think the pains, goals, dreams, and fears are, and we'll take it to the next level. And then we'll put your content matrix together. We'll give you additional categories. We'll give you a why choose us and make it very simple. And there's many, many more things we can do. But this is the information that you feed it. Then you submit the framework, and it does it for you. Okay. How are you guys feeling? Let me know in the chat. Are you feeling good? Is this good? Or are you feeling kind of like, ugh, this is so much work? It used to be a lot of work. It used to be a lot of work, but this is not a lot of work. This is like literally an hour of work of strategy that you schedule with a few, maybe 2 or 3 other people in the community that are aligned with you, and you just get it all done. You have to put some time into a strategy, but you don't need to put a month in. You don't need to feel overwhelmed. Fill out a few inputs, hit go, and AI will create you a decent strategy that's ready to go. People overthink this process, and you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to overthink it. The reason why we charge so much for this course is because we give it to you quickly like this. That's why we could charge $10K for the course and get you to the end of the line and give you what you need so you can start making phone calls, so you can start having conversations, so you can start producing content. You guys get it? Okay. This is a shortcut to success. That's the shortcut to success. I remember when we had to do this manually, Evan said. Evan, open up your mic and tell everybody how much of a pain in the ass this was when we had to do it manually.
It wasn't a pain in the ass. It was actually really valuable, but you had to devote a lot of time, and you provided the framework 4 years ago when I started with you. But now I'm like, this is not fair. They all have it easy. Like, I had to work really hard to create this stuff. So Tina too. Remember? Right? So this is amazing. I can't wait to do it over again because that's the other thing. We can now refine it so much easier. This is like boom on steroids. So thank you.
Thank you. Now, guys, once you have your plan, you have your people, and you have your promise done, the next step is your story. There are two different types of stories that you need. And everybody has a story. Kendall has a story. Greg has a story. Yulia has a story. Wendy has a story. Rick has a story. We all have beautiful, beautiful stories. What we need to do is we need to identify our story and how our story connects with the plan, the people, and the promise. Okay, it's simple like that. This goes before your presence and your profile. This is the foundation for everything. So your story is also the foundation for your book. The story is the foundation for your podcast. The story is the foundation for what people subscribe to. Do you guys know my story? Everybody has a story. You know my story? My father wanted me to be a rabbi. I studied. I grew up in a Jewish Orthodox home, and I decided I want to make my dad proud. And so I went and became a rabbi in Israel. I didn't like being a rabbi. I saw things that I didn't feel resonated with my soul there. And so what I did was I decided I'm going to go into technology, and I always felt guilty. Till I turned 40, I felt guilty that I didn't do the rabbi thing. And I thought my father was really upset at me. And one day I did a landmark personal development course, and really they said, who do you have lack of integrity, lack of connection with? I said, my father. I feel terrible. I almost started crying. And I was like, I feel terrible that I'm not a rabbi, and my father wanted me to be a rabbi. So they said, own up to it. Tell your father your lack of authenticity, all that stuff that they make you do in personal development. So I called up my father crying, my eyes out one Sunday, and I said, Ta, I have to tell you. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You have a business that does millions of dollars in revenue, and you're changing lives and hiring people. I'm so proud. I can't even tell you how proud I am of you. I said, even though I'm not as religious as you and I'm not as whatever as you, he's like, what are you talking about? You're so much more religious than me. You're doing your true self. You're doing your true thing. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's like so proud of me. I thought he like hated me because, he's a little introverted and he gets upset when I, make fun of things and have this like weird, dirty mind or whatever, like he's very like straight by the book. If I say something, I was like, ooh, look at that skirt or whatever. He's like, don't look at that skirt, whatever, like what, anyway. Bottom line is, I realize that I am living my highest self, and that connects with humans. That story, and I have so many stories. The day that I got divorced, the day that I started my business, the day that LinkedIn sent me a cease and desist letter. I have a million things that happens in my story. And we all have beautiful stories along the way, our ups and our downs. I call that a lifeline. A lifeline. So write this down in the chat. Say, I have a beautiful story. I believed I didn't have a beautiful story for the longest time. And I thought nobody was interested in my story. But write down, I have a beautiful story, because I promise you, you have a beautiful story that needs to be told. And everyone, your ideal clients, they don't buy into what you do. They buy into why you do it. They buy into your story. If you really want to connect with another human, tell them your story. I want to know Carlos's story. I want to know Dr. Steve's story. Even if you don't have your perfect product yet, even if your product is not done yet, Paul has a beautiful story. Me and Paul, we connected about his story before we even knew what we did for a living. He was in the jacuzzi, and I said, tell me your story. And he started telling me what happened with his wife, his and his kids, and he'll tell you he's open. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And now he's going to go to Africa and build wells for people for 2 years at the end of the month. So I want you guys to think about your story and how impactful your story can be. Even if you don't value your story, your ideal client is going to value the fact that you're being authentic and you're sharing your story. So how do you come up with your story? You watch the story framework and you do the story framework. I actually built a story framework called the Lifeline. So if you go to Lifeline, I have an entire lifeline of stories here that you can add, and you can just keep adding as many sections of your lifeline. So you talk about whether it's a high point or a low point in your life. You write the year that it happened, the title of the story, the description, the impact, and the lesson you learned. And you add an entry, and you can add as many entries as you want. And when you're done adding entries, you can hit send to webhook, and it'll make a beautiful, beautiful thing out of your story. And it'll come up with tons and tons of topics on how to tell your story. This is powerful. A lifeline is one of the most powerful ways for you to be able to share what you do for a living. And most people have no idea how to do this. And it's usually a lot of work, but it's not a lot of work anymore because now you just fill out a framework, you hit submit, and your whole story gets told. What's the link? /lifeline. I just put the link in the chat. Okay? That's done already. We don't have to cover that for like a long time, but if you go into the story section of our course, you'll be able to learn how to tell your story, and you'll have other manual frameworks you can fill out, but I gave you a simple manual framework. Now, there's something else that you will need. It's called case stories. So there's personal stories, which is a lifeline, but you also need case stories for your business. If you do anything in your business, you need to be able to tell the story of what you accomplished, the transformation you did for clients, right? So a case story is very simple, and I'm going to create a separate framework, and we'll talk more about this next month because you guys already have enough work to do, and I don't want to give you more work to do. But once you figure out your personal story, you figure out your promise, you figure out your people, and you figure out your plan, we're going to talk more about case stories next time, which will help us a lot. But I want you to start thinking as you go through your month, what are the transformations you've done for customers? What was the initial problem they had? Why did they come to you? What was the solution you gave them? And at the end of the day, what did they say about it? Okay, what was the problem? The solution? What did they say about it? And then often you can also say why you were the best solution. You can include that. But even just the first three is enough. Okay? That's a very, very simple way to tell a case story. The way that a case story is different than a case study is a case study, you're looking at metrics and you're trying to do a whole case study. You're doing a study on the person. You know, you give background information on the client. I don't need this. I just want to tell a story. I want to say a client came to me, this happened. They had this problem. I was able to resolve the problem by doing X, Y, and Z, and this is what they said about it. And this is why I was the best person to do it. So it's more of a story rather than a study. Oh, no, we increased them by 73% and blah. We don't need all that. We don't need to know all that. You could add that to it and turn it into a study, but I want the story component because people resonate with your story more than with your study. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to teach you. What I'm trying to do is inspire you. There's a difference. There's a subtle difference to that. I want people to be inspired to do business with you. I want people to be inspired to have a conversation with you because conversations are powerful. You want to back things up with logic, of course. Evan said of emotions versus logic, but we're trying to connect with people. We're trying to build trust with people. And building trust and connection has more to do with stories than with studies. That's my opinion anyway. Once you have all this stuff, then we have to optimize our profile. We have to get a good presence. But you need all this stuff to optimize your profile. We need to create a really nice banner on the top of LinkedIn. Did you guys see my banner best practices in the community? LinkedIn just issued a new update, and they're rolling it out to many accounts where you can have 5 banners on your profile. Not just one banner, but 5 banners. So I would suggest design a new banner and then design 5 versions of that banner and let it rotate. One version could be talking about your book. One version could be talking about your community, your WhatsApp group, or whatever you have that you're pushing people to. One banner could be talking about your competitive advantage. One banner could talk about yourself and what you speak about or whatever. And one banner could just talk about your business. So have a rotating banner. Let me show you an example of that. Do you guys want the link to the best practices? Should I share that? And I'll show you how to find it real quick. So check this out. I'm going to go to the community. So if you go to evyAI.com and you click on login, on the left side, you're going to see there's a button called community. Can you see that community button on the left? Second to the last option here on the left side, it says community. I click on community and it takes me to a button that says discover our community. You see that? When you click on discover our community, it says we have 730 members. By the way, these are amazing members. I don't just let everybody in. You guys are in this community. That's amazing. But I don't let everybody in. There's 50 people waiting to join the community. And if you're pending, write pending in the chat and I'll let you in. You can join for free. Now, if you search, the search tool on top is very powerful. You type in banner and you press enter. You're going to see it says LinkedIn background banner best practices guide. Was that hard to find? I literally just searched banner. And then there's another one, how to create an eye-catching LinkedIn slideshow banner, step by step. So I have two. I have the best practices, and then I how to create it with Canva, step by step here. So you don't have to waste time here, me explaining this to you now. You go back, and then you go in here, and then you can comment with a picture of your banner if you want. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new post, and I'm going to say, post a picture, post your LinkedIn banner in the comments. And then I'm going to write something up over here. And I'm actually going to use the side panel to write this up. Let me see if this will work. I'm going to use the side panel. So if you don't have the side panel yet, and you're an evyAI Pro user, you can download the side panel and use it. It's a little technical to download it. But let me see. I can create as many personas as I want here. I'm going to use a school post reply. And I'm going to say, create a school post about asking people to post their LinkedIn banner in the comments. Let's just see what it does. I love this idea. Share your LinkedIn banners. Really help us connect. Let's create a vibrant. Can't wait to see all your banners. Okay, I'm going to press copy. I'm going to paste this here like this. Sharing our LinkedIn banners can really help us. Let's create a vibrant thing. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say how I use evyAI. And then I'm going to put in a GIF. And I'm going to put in this guy because this guy makes me laugh. And then I'm going to press post. And then we can all paste our banners in here. So how do you paste your banner? I'll show you how to paste your banner in here. You go to linkedin.com. This way we can all give each other feedback. You click on your own profile.
I'm good, thank you.
What'd you say? Okay. I'm going to right click on my banner. I'm going to hit copy image. I'm going to go into the banner here and I'm just literally going to, oh, it didn't work. Control A, delete. I thought I copied the image, but it didn't copy. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just drag the banner here. Drag it here. Oh, look at that. I was able to drag the banner.
No, I haven't. I'm busy right now, but I'll please call me back.
Whoever's talking. Thank you. Jen, are you taking care of it, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Jen. Okay, I'm going to say my banner is selfies. Okay, I'm going to go here. So I put my banner over here so we can see each person's banner. This is Andrew's banner. I'm going to like his banner, and then I can comment on it, and I can tell him some suggestions. You see that? So each one of us can go ahead and put our banner there if we want, and then we can get to know each other and see what our banners look like. Do you have a business account? Somebody said, Dr. Steve says, I'm pending on the community. Let me open up the pending for you. I'll just show you how I do that. I see one person's pending. I see 51 people are pending now, so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to let Steve Green in. You see, I just let you in. Okay, and there's a lot of other people waiting, but I don't have time to look at them now. Okay, let's see what people wrote. Do you have a current one or a new one to create with tips? Do you want to create a new one? Just put the current one in, and then later you can update it with your new one. Now, if I press Edit Banner on LinkedIn, you may have the ability to add additional banners. Let me hit Change Photo. Do you see it says Create Slideshow on the top right? You guys see that? It says Create Slideshow.
Yes.
Yellow button. So that Create Slideshow allows you to upload up to 5 banners. So I'm going to go into here. By the way, we do have a lot of things that we teach inside our course. So as you go through it, we're going to cover LinkedIn technologies, stories, direct messages, LinkedIn strategy, the plan, the people, the promise. Now this is familiar to you, right? The plan, the people, the promise. Remember we spoke about that for the first 30 minutes of this conversation? Engaging on posts. We're going to talk about how to do LinkedIn mentions, LinkedIn influence. There's a lot of things that we cover here. The profile, optimized profile is your LinkedIn banner. This is the LinkedIn banner we're talking about here, but we cover all these different things in our program. We talk about LinkedIn search, engagement pods. So it's going to take you a while to learn everything here. I mean, Evan is still learning things, and he's been here for 4 years. So joining the accountability, and Tina's like 5 years. I've been here 5 years and I'm still learning things. So I'm gonna open up Canva real quick just to kind of show you. By the way, guys, if you're distracted right now, if you have distractions, I heard somebody was on the phone before, then close your distractions. Drink some water because a 5% drop in hydration is a 30% drop in energy. And always engage in the chat. Always engage in the chat if you have something to say. By the way, I have a question for you guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I have a question for you guys. Can you guys take a deep breath with me right now? Sometimes when you're learning, it can be stressful to learn and you can feel overwhelmed, but it's often because we're not breathing. So taking a moment to just breathe can be really helpful. And realize you don't have to get everything right now because you have other people that you're going to meet with and talk about these ideas with. You're not learning in a silo. You're learning with other real human beings. Do you guys get it? Put it in what city or state you're in the chat. I want to see if we have any people that are in the same cities and states because I do recommend you guys meet in person. Paul said, I'm really glad you said that right now. Thank you. You don't have to get everything today. You have a year with me. We're going to be spending a year together. Las Vegas, New Jersey. We have two people in Las Vegas, Wendy and Eugene. Don't you think it makes sense for Wendy and Eugene to get together in person? And maybe invite me when you guys are getting together? Because I love Vegas, baby. I don't even know why I like it. So no, I know why I like it. Because it's showtime. Because it's showtime. I went to the Crazy Horse. It was fun. Let's see. Katie said Dallas. We have another Las Vegas, AJ in Las Vegas. We got Toronto, Miami, Memphis. So you guys can meet in person. It's beautiful when you meet in person. Kendall says, no one's in Hawaii with me. We have people from Hawaii. We have members from Hawaii, by the way. They're just not here right now. But people would want to visit you in Hawaii if you just invite them. And it looks like you just invited them. You said, come visit. Kendall, ask people when they want to come. And boom, Austin, Texas. I'd love to visit Austin, Jim. Let's talk about doing an event in Austin. And maybe people will come. Maybe we can do a get-together. It's on my list of places to go to. I've never been to Austin. I heard Austin is one of the most fantastic places in the world. I want to come to Hawaii as well. Let's do an event in Hawaii. Let's talk about it. I would love to do an event with you. By the way, I want to do an event in different places, and we can do it together, invite people, and have a great time. We can invite groups of CEOs to join our event. It could be fun. It could be like very beneficial for all of us to do events. And I love speaking. So I'd fly down somewhere, do an event, speak to a group that you guys arrange. That could be fun. Okay, come to Atlanta, please. I'd love to come to Atlanta. Let's talk about it. If you're serious about it, you can schedule something. We can make something happen. We can make something happen. All right. Let me share my screen again and show you Canva how easy it is. And by the way, if you guys are suffering and you're not sure what to do, what area of LinkedIn are you suffering? Are you suffering from not posting and not being sure what to post? Are you suffering from not getting enough engagement or not being able to engage? Are you suffering from not doing enough messaging or not being sure who to message and how to message? Are you suffering by not having the right strategy, by not having assets, by not knowing how to measure, or by managing, not having enough time? Where are you suffering the most? Where are you suffering the most in the chat? Do you see the community that's happening in the chat? I love this. I love it. Jeff said inconsistency. They say what gets scheduled gets done. Schedule that consistency. Show up to the weekly accountability meetings on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and you're going to have some more consistency. Getting engagement. Somebody recently sent me their post and they had a shitty post. And I said, this is why you're not getting engagement. Nobody wants to engage with your ad. You literally put up an ad. It's crap. And you put a link in the ad. Not only is it crap, it doesn't comply with the algorithm. So we need a suffering from trying to keep up with you, Joe. You don't need to keep up with me. You need to keep up with you. You need to set your own plan. You don't need to like put in 3 posts at one time on LinkedIn like I do. You don't need to do that. Find your own rhythm. You can post once a week. That's fine. You don't have to post every 5 minutes. You don't have to post every day. The minimum is once a week. I recommend once a day, but you can do it once a week. You can decide that you'll post 4 times a month. I'm okay with that. Greg says, how can I start better? It's very simple. Simplify. For you, Greg, I would suggest calling people. Make a list of people on LinkedIn that you're going to call. Okay. Just literally, if you're not calling 20 people a day from your LinkedIn connections, you're not working. If you're not calling, I'm talking to Greg specifically. Not all of you have the energy that Greg has. Greg has energy. Greg has certain calling energy. He knows how to call. Not everybody knows how to call or is interested in calling. But Greg, you have calling energy. So call people. You're great on the phone. Pick up the phone. If somebody puts their cell phone on LinkedIn, don't they want you to call them? So just pick up the phone and call. He's raising his hand. I can't hear you when you talk when you raise your hand. You have to unmute yourself, Greg. Pick up the phone and call. That's what I would tell you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes?
I can.
Anybody hear me?
Everyone can hear you, Greg.
Okay. My biggest problem is that I'm so lost. I mean, everybody is so far ahead of me. I know how to post. I'm doing really good with posting, but
Nobody.
I need to start. I need some help.
Nobody's ahead of you. I want you to know that no one is ahead of you. You are on your own journey. No one is ahead of you. No one is behind you. And you are not lost. You're in the right place. You're with us right here, right now, in this moment. And wherever you are right now is exactly where you need to be to get to the next place. Where you are right
Okay.
now, exactly. You believing that you are lost is just a lie that the voice in your head is telling you. It's just a lie. And it's okay to lie. We lie sometimes. There's nothing wrong with a little lying because what is the truth anyway? It's a bunch of lies stitched together. So don't feel guilty for lying to yourself that the voice in your head is not even your voice. It's probably your mother's voice, your father's voice, your teacher's voice. All the voices in our head are not really us. I want you to just take a moment and realize that, Greg, that everybody feels lost sometimes. But I'm here as your guide to tell you, you're actually not lost. Where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. You're on the journey. You know how to post? Hell yeah, you know how to post. Most people on LinkedIn have no idea how to post. You're doing great, Greg. Now what you need to do is get on the phone with people. That's the next step for you. Don't overthink it. Post once a day and then get on the phone 20 times a day with people. Just get on the phone. Click on someone's profile. Click on where it says contact info. See their phone number and dial. Smile and dial. I do that. A percentage of people pick up the phone and they are thrilled to speak to me because I say, hey, I noticed we're connected on LinkedIn and we haven't spoken in a while. Do you mind speaking now for 3 minutes so I can tell you a little bit about what I do and I want to learn about what you do as well? Do you mind speaking to me for 3 minutes or is now not a good time because I can call you back tomorrow at 2 p.m.? I'm fine with that. And they'll say, call me back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Then you send them a text message. They say, thank you very much. You send them a calendar invite, which you know how to do, Greg, and you're done. And if you're not sure how to make a phone call, there are trainers that can train you on how to do that. But Greg, I know you know how to make a phone call because me and you were both in the 70s. We both made phone calls before the days of caller ID. And it became a culture of, I don't want to interrupt people. Bullshit. You're not interrupting anybody. If they picked up their phone, they weren't interrupted. You pick up the phone and you call people. We're in the 80s right now. Let's go back to the 80s. Go ahead, Greg.
Okay. So I do my post. I share it with LinkedIn. It goes to LinkedIn and I got the post out there. I'm only getting like 50 or 100 people coming to say something about my post. So how do I go from 50 to what you do?
You don't need more than 50 people liking and commenting on your post, Greg. What you need to do is you need to call those people that comment on your post and build a real relationship with them. Going viral and getting 5,000 people to like your post is a waste of time. You don't need to do what I do because you're going to be wasting your time trying to do that. I can tell you how to get 5,000 likes on a post. I can tell you how to
I
go.
didn't mean 5,000, but you know, if 100.
If you want 100 people to like and comment on your post, you have to work on that and you have to like and comment on 100 other people's posts and have a relationship with them. If you want 100 likes and 100 comments, you got to leave 100 likes and 100 comments on other people's posts and then message them and have a relationship with them and they will see your post and you will see their post and you're going to have a relationship. That's just how it works. Every influencer that I know, like Nat Berman, for example, who gets 500 likes, he spends 8 hours a day doing that. That's what he does 8 hours a day. How do I know? I DM him in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, and he answers every single time instantly. He's always on it. And I reply, I troll him, I reply to his post, and I write something wacky, and then he replies to that within 3 seconds. He's there. I know it's him. I picked up the phone and called him. I said, really? Really? You're going to say that? And we laugh. These are real people that are.
I can do the like, you know what you just said. I can go into LinkedIn and I could read different posts and I could like them, and that's how I get more people. Just go scroll down and see what I want to
like it, but do it strategically. Don't do it randomly. So let me teach you how to do it strategically. Make a list of people that are likely to refer business to you or that are part of our community and save them to a list inside evyAI. Make a list. Rick said make a list. And by the way, on Tuesdays at 5 p.m., if you join Evan and Rick, you're going to realize how lost you're not. You're going to know exactly what to do. And by the way, Greg, you're helping everyone here with your stuff. What you're just sharing, you're helping everyone because everyone has the same issue. No one's further ahead than you. Literally, everyone has the same gosh darn issue. Everyone. So you thinking you're not ahead and you're falling behind, you're just not. Everyone is in the same bucket. And you're way further ahead of most of your connections, by the way, Greg. Way further ahead because you're here. And they're not. And they're sitting there playing with their... they're just sitting there wasting time. Okay? That's what they're doing. They're hoping for the best. Hope is not a great thing. You're taking action. You're being frustrated. By the way, do you know how a butterfly becomes a butterfly? They first are a caterpillar. And they go into this cocoon. And the cocoon, they have to suffer through getting out of the cocoon. And Greg, if they don't suffer and they're not frustrated and they don't have stress, they don't become a butterfly. They become crippled. They need to suffer through it. You're suffering through it. You are working hard. You're frustrated. That means you're growing. It's okay. Be frustrated. I want you to be frustrated.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on. So check this out. I'm going to click on share, and I'm going to show you the banners. So these banners here in Canva, look how nicely they're designed. We have banner 1, banner 2, banner 3, banner 4, banner 5. You see all these banners? So I can click on share banner, and then I can click on download. And then I can download all the banners. I can download them as a PNG file. And then I press download. It'll download them all and turn them into a zip file and download all the banners for me. And then I can upload all these banners into my LinkedIn. And I'll quickly show you how to do that. Go in and I have a video in the community that shows you step by step how to do this, but I'll just share with you how to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unzip that zip file that I got. You guys know how to unzip a zip file. You right click on the zip file and you press extract all, and then you unzip. And once you have the zip file, you have them all here. And then we just simply click on create a slideshow. It's going to say which files do you want in your slideshow. I'm going to go to the banner and I'm going to select the 5 that I want. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I press open. And then I can choose which ones I want as first, as second, as third. You see that? First, second, third, fourth. I'm going to make this one the first. Let's see if I can move this one up. Move this one up just like that. And I'm going to press save. And let's just see what happens. And my banner was just updated. So instead of having that banner there, now I have 5 banners. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the community. And these banners are going to shift around. Now I'm going to go into the community. I'm going to go to school.com/evyAI. And then I'm going to go to where the banners are. Post your banners in the comments. And I posted my old banner here. Now I'm going to post my new banner here. How am I going to post my new banners? I'm going to go to the folder with my 5 banners. I'm going to click on downloads, grab my 5 banners here, and then I'm going to grab my 5 banners like this, and I'm going to drag them in like this. And now all 5 banners are here, and I'm going to say, here are my 5 new banners. And I press comment, and now you guys have my 5 new banners that you can learn from. If this is nifty, write nifty in the chat. It didn't take much time to do that. You saw me do it, right? Now, the banners were already designed. So in that video, I show you how I designed the banners. And it's not hard to design in Canva. Or you can hire on Fiverr. There's a website where you pay $5 for someone to design you these 5 banners. So you go on Fiverr and say, I'd like you to design me 5 banners. And for $5, $10, or $20, somebody will design you your banners in your brand. You guys get it? If you don't want to do it yourself, Pay somebody $5, they'll spend an hour and do it for you. Okay, you guys wrote nifty, 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 nifty. Banners are powerful. By the way, if you asked a question in the chat and I missed it, ask it again. I don't mean to ignore you. I want you to know that. Some people are like, Joe, why'd you block me on LinkedIn? Terrible, terrible that you blocked me. And I was like, dude, I didn't block you. I got restricted and everyone thinks I blocked them. Now everyone's angry at me. But you know what? If you're angry at me, that's up to you. You get angry. That's fine. So many people got angry at me that I blocked them. I didn't block you guys. Okay, I'm not ignoring you. Stop it. Stop it with the voices of your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents in your head trying to make you crazy. Okay? You are loved. You are desired. You are wanted. You are worthy. You are on the right path. Where you are is right now is exactly where you need to be. You're not behind. You are here. You're beautiful. Don said, why did you get restricted? They told me the reason I got restricted is because they saw suspicious activity on my account. That's all the information they had. The only suspicious activity that I had was that I got 5,000 likes on a post in 2 days. So they thought something went wrong with my account because a post went viral. I didn't mean for the post to go viral, but, it went viral. So there you go. Suspicious. And they didn't accept my government ID. They told me to go screw myself. So who did I call? I called my person that works at the Empire State Building on LinkedIn. Her name is Carmel. And I said, Carmel, they restricted my account. They're not willing to open it. I don't know what to do. She's like, Joe, I will escalate this for you. She escalated to a senior executive at LinkedIn. They opened up my account in 24 hours. They said, we're sorry. We apologize. We understand that you train us and we love you and we're good. Please don't be angry at us. I tweeted about it. I wrote on Facebook about it and blah, blah, blah. 4 days I didn't have my account. My account was opened very quickly because I have a relationship at LinkedIn. That's the only reason it got open. Otherwise, there's no one to talk to a customer service. And I can't abuse that relationship. So I told her, thank you so much for letting me in. Can we now have lunch again at LinkedIn? Because we just had lunch a few weeks ago. And she's like, yes, please come. We'll buy you lunch. And we're going to have lunch again. And she's going to introduce me to some other senior executives at LinkedIn, which I love. Interesting, right? Interesting. Now, if LinkedIn banned my account and I can never use LinkedIn again, can I still have business? Yes, I can, because I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on WhatsApp, I'm on my phone, I'm on SMS, I'm on email. I have it all covered. I'm on YouTube. I'm not just in one place. You need to be diversified because you never know when LinkedIn will cancel your account for suspicious activity. Suspicious activity. That can happen any day to anybody for any reason, even someone like me who has deep relationships at LinkedIn, and maybe they won't be able to open it again. Maybe they'll delete my account. So back up your account. You might say, Joe, how do I back up my account? It's very simple. I'll teach you how to do that right now so that you have a copy of your account. If you go into evyAI.com, we're going to do that together, evyAI.com, and you click on login. On the left side, there's something called Learning Hub. Have you guys ever seen the Learning Hub? Yes? Good. The first option on the Learning Hub is called Quick Links. Do you guys see it says Quick Links on the top? When you click Quick Links, we have a lot of links. The first option on Quick Links is download your LinkedIn connections. You see that? We put that first and center. Even though it's D, and trust me, I have a good relationship with D, download LinkedIn connections. I click on download LinkedIn connections. It takes me right to the place in LinkedIn where I can export all of my data. Now I can choose just my connections. So if you want a dashboard, just choose your connections and I'll make you a dashboard. And if you need a dashboard, I'll send you to strategy.evyai.com/dashboard. And this has instructions on what to do and how to get your dashboard created. And most of you already have a dashboard, but if you don't, I put the link in the chat. But if you haven't backed up all of your data, I would select the first option and hit Request Archive. And when you hit Request Archive, LinkedIn will now work to create an archive of everything, your messages, your posts, your articles, your recommendations, your connections, every post you liked, everything you've ever done on LinkedIn will be in a file, in a folder, in multiple folders, in a zip file. And it takes about 24 hours. Okay? This makes sense? Eugene says, where do I go to get training to learn how to do outbound messaging to connect? Eugene, open up your mic so I can understand what you're saying because I'm not sure what that sentence.
Hey, Joe.
Go ahead.
So it's more about if I see someone that I'm interested in communicating and they don't comment, do you have a kind of a training on what you recommend as a messaging to introduce yourself and have them raise their hand?
There are, if you watch our last webinar, we just did a webinar last week or whatever. So evyai.com/webinar dash replay. I do suggest that you watch that webinar. And over there, I showed how I sent somebody a message using Sales Navigator. They responded within 5 minutes. Then I asked them for their cell phone number. I said, "What's your cell?" And they sent me their cell phone number. And then I called them and we had a 10-minute conversation. And he said he's interested in doing business with me. If you if you want somebody to respond to your either your connection note or your message, what you need to do is you need to create curiosity in the person. Curiosity. They say curiosity killed the cat. It's not true. Curiosity did not kill the cat. It petted the cat. It made the cat purr. People are curious by nature. You want to make the cat purr, and that's curiosity. Also, if you don't want it to be seen as spam, you need to customize it and personalize it. Okay, customize it and make the person feel like they're the only person that you're talking to in the world. When I say Eugene, you know that I'm only talking to you, Gene. Eugene. I'm only talking to you, and you appreciate that because I'm not spamming you. Spamming means I'm sending you things that are irrelevant, that are not meant for you. That's what spam is. Unsolicited doesn't mean spam. I wrote an article about this. Just because you send somebody something that's unsolicited, it doesn't mean that's spam automatically. Unsolicited could be very invited. If someone beautiful walks over to you and says hello to you and it's unsolicited, are you going to be upset? No, they're beautiful. They touched your soul. They helped you out. Unsolicited is not spam if it's relevant. So you need to make it customized and personalized for the person. So curiosity, customization, and then you need to have some type of trust. I call that connection. What's the connection here? What is the connection? So curiosity, customization, and connection are the 3 C's to connection. So you that connection, that trust. So why should I trust you? So I might mention someone I actually know. Oh, I see that you're connected to Tina Larson. Would love to blah, 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 customize and curious. Get it? Eugene, you take that approach through DMs and connection notes, people are going to pay attention to that. If you have something to share with somebody, don't just share it with them. Ask them if they're interested. There's a famous saying that I learned after I got divorced, because if I would have known this, maybe I wouldn't have gotten divorced. Coaching without permission is criticism. I used to always coach my ex-wife, telling her she needs to be more positive. And that did not go well. That did not go well. That did not go well. That actually made it a lot worse. Coaching without permission is criticism. If I go over to you and I coach you and I say, you know what you can do better? You know what you should be doing? I'm shooting on you. Nobody wants your opinion. Nobody asks for your advice. Stop giving advice to people. Advice is a form of judgment. Write that down for yourself for a second, because we all want to advise people. We're like, look at that smoker. They shouldn't be smoking. There's like, the last person who said that, you know what happened to them. Don't judge people. Don't tell them what to do. You can ask people for permission, and if they give you permission, now they give you access. It's called consent. And a lot of men don't understand how sexy consent is. If consent is sexy, write sexy in the chat. Consent. And just because somebody said no yesterday doesn't mean that no is okay today. Consent is sexy. You need to ask for consent, because otherwise people feel like you're taking advantage of them. People want to give you permission. Here with my kids, I ask my kids, do you want to take a shower now, or do you want to take a shower in 5 minutes? And then they can choose. Hey, can I give you a little feedback on that? Do you mind if I give you a little feedback on that? Do you mind if I give you a compliment? Do you mind if we get on the phone for 5 minutes? Can I invite you to something? Can I invite you to an event? Don't just invite them to an event. Well, you think I need to go to your event? Do you think I'm broken? Do you think there's something wrong with me? Do you think I have cash flow issues? Somebody called me up the other day and said, Joe, you should really use my services because you can be rich. I said, what, you think I'm not rich? He's like, but you could be richer. Who said I even want to be richer? Maybe rich is a curse for me. He's like, like, who are you? I was like, you called me out of the blue trying to sell me shit. I feel judged. He's like, well, I'm not judging you. I just want to help you with my products and services. I said, why don't you help me with what I actually want? He's like, but I don't know what you want. I was like, there you go. Why don't you ask me what I want? He's like, okay, Joe, what do you want? I said, I want you to sign up to evyAI. And he laughed so hard. He's like, I really like you. I don't even know what you do, but I really like you. I was like, if you like me, watch the demo I just texted you. Can you call me back in 20 minutes after you watch the demo? He called me back in 20 minutes. He's like, how do I sign up? He called me out of the blue. You guys get what I'm saying? Find out what people want and give it to them. Find out what people... LinkedIn is not overly complicated if you don't look at it as a context of LinkedIn, but as the context of a networking event. What do you do at a network? All of a sudden, you show up to LinkedIn, it's no longer a networking event. LinkedIn is literally a networking event. Greg said, evyai.com/webinar to find people to reach them. evyai.com/webinar-replay. So I'll put the link in for you, Greg. Greg, send me that message privately so you guys can't see it. evyai.com/webinar-replay. You'll see how I did it.
Thank you.
Now, believe it or not, guys, people want you to reach out to them. People want you to message them. People want you to do that, but we have little voices in our head that stop us from reaching out. Tony Robbins said the following, and it touched my heart. He said, every form of a communication is an expression of love or a cry for help. Every form of communication is an expression of love or a cry for help. When somebody's reaching out to you, it's love. It's love. They're reaching out to you with love. Reach out to people with love. It's love. Just giving people attention is love. The fact that you wish somebody happy birthday on LinkedIn, even their mother didn't wish them happy birthday. People have said that to me. Now, we also need templates. We need templates. Everybody needs some templates. What type of templates do you need? You need something called quick response templates. I want to talk about some templates today that you need. We're going to log into evyAI, and I'm going to show you some quick response templates to make things easier, because AI doesn't always come up with the best stuff. So I created a section called templates. You need quick response templates. There's lots of different types of templates that you can have. You can have promo links. You could have snippets. You could have links. You could have Loom videos, connection notes, comments, prompts, messages. You could have lots of different types of templates. But if you click on Manage Tags, you can create more tags. I'm going to call this one Quick Response. Okay, so Quick Response. So if you were going to create a Quick Response template, what type of template do you often need to send people that includes a quick response? What do people typically ask you for? Let me know in the chat. So people ask me for my contact info. My cell is 917-865-7631. My email is joe@ajaxunion.com. You can reach my assistant, Jen, at scheduling@ajaxunion.com, and you can view my LinkedIn profile at http://www.linkedin.com/in/Joe Apfelbaum. Now, do you see what I did there? Now I'm going to click on quick response template. I just created a quick response template, just like that. Okay, so this is my quick response template. I'm going to press copy here. This works on my cell phone. So this works if you go to evyai.com from your cell phone. If you had a list of quick response templates like that and you're on your cell, you can easily use evyAI in your cell and get those templates where you quickly respond to people for things that they need. What do you need quickly? Contact info is one of them. Do you have a quick response template for your contact info? Let's write one right now. My cell is 917-865-7631. My email is joe@ajaxunion.com. You can contact my assistant, Jen, at scheduling@ajaxunion.com. And you can view my LinkedIn profile at linkedin.com/ guys, let's try this. Let's all do this and put it in the comments. And then what I'll do is I will write up a school post where we can all share our quick response template. I'm going to write quick response templates. Let's all share some ideas for quick response templates in the comments. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say how I use evyAI. I'm going to put this under ideas. And then I'm going to put a GIF. I just put a link to the school community. How do I use evyAI on my cell phone? You open up Chrome on your cell phone or Safari or whatever you have, and you just go to evyai.com and you press login. We have something called a mobile website. I'll teach you how to use the mobile website right now because it could be very helpful for you. So, by the way, I just put this quick response template thing here. I have a lot of quick response templates that I can share. So I have the evyAI demo as a quick response template inside evyAI. I have a promo for evyAI. I have the AI for LinkedIn community as a quick response template. I have the AI automation community as a quick response template. I have my posting party best practices as a quick response template. I have my LinkedIn Live. I have my YouTube channel. I have my Twitter posts. I have my high energy, my Ajax Union Services quick response template. I have my high energy networking book, but I have 5 books. I could have 5 quick response templates. I have the LinkedIn Accelerator replay. I have the Sales Nav Bootcamp. I have, do you guys see what I'm doing here? Do you guys see how many quick response templates I have? You guys can have an unlimited amount of quick response templates, but you have the right ones. Have 5, 10 for the things that you need the most. Like when someone needs to schedule a meeting with you, or somebody needs to get on a Zoom with you and you have your Zoom room privately. And this way, when somebody messages you, if you see people are messaging you often the same thing over and over and over, make a quick response template out of it and have your templates ready. Cool, right? It'll save you a ton of time. How do I get the sidebar, Dr. Steve says? You search side panel in the community and there's a video on how to do it. So if you go to the community and you search side panel, evyAI side panel, I have a video that explains step by step how to get the side panel. I just put that in the chat, Steve. Okay? You gave me a thumbs up. Love that. By the way, this is why we have this community. We have the community so we can get all our stuff together as a community. And my goal is to have 1,000 engaged LinkedIn users in the community so you guys have an unlimited amount of people that you can tap into networking-wise and build relationships. This is for you. And these are relationships that you have for life. You know, the value of a person who's engaged on LinkedIn is much, much higher than a value of a person who's not engaged on LinkedIn. Because if you're engaged on LinkedIn, you're tapped into a global audience. Everyone here should have at least 1,000 new strategic connections per year that you add to your LinkedIn. If you do that for 10 years, you'll have 10,000 strategic connections. Think about the power, and you're in control of that. You can send out 20 connection requests a day. So you're in control of that. Most people are not doing that. They're just waiting for people to come to them. You could be sending out connection requests to people, and it's really easy with evyAI to do that. And you don't want to be using automation to do it for you. You want to be methodically doing it, doing searches, methodically connecting with people, connect with all the people that come to our posting parties. That's an automated, engaged group of people. That's powerful stuff. Let's see what people asked over here. The clip flow thing is cool. Is it a custom extension you created? Yes, it's a custom extension I created, and I put it in our community under Classroom. And now evyAI does the clip flow thing. So what I do is I'll design things and create things that I can then implement into evyAI. So we have the clip flow thing, but check this out. If you go into the regular evyAI side panel, and you click on templates, now all the clip flow thing is right here. So if I want my contact info, I just press comment right here, and then I go back into the community, and now I have this available right here, just like this. I'm going to comment right here. Boom. You see that? I just commented, and I have as many as I want here. This is all copy, 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 whatever I want. So if I want to invite you to the LinkedIn Influencer Summit, I just copy this, paste this here, and boom, I just invited you to the summit. You guys see what I'm saying? And this works in anywhere. So if I go to Facebook, the side panel stays. The side panel doesn't leave. You see that? The side panel stays. So I can go in here and leave a comment. I can send Leilani a comment with that, or whoever messages me. I could send messages to people. I can comment on my own posts with my quick links. So I'm going to go in here. I've been posting a lot. I'm going to go here. Join me and 1,000 other people. Or right over here. But the side panel also works like this. So check this out. So if I click on generate, this is called no context. I have to feed it context. So I can put a persona, for example, the Facebook post persona. And then I can click on Elisa's thing here. I right click on it and I say send to sidebar and I hit generate. And this will generate a comment that I can add in here real quick. You see? I copy this comment that it made for me. I paste it and I say scaling your list can feel like a mountain to climb, but Carrie's insights on authentic sales is just that. Carrie's journey. Let's dive into this episode together. I'm just going to delete all this extra stuff here and just include this. And you see the way I just commented with a beautiful comment on her Facebook post? Boom, just like that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I want you guys to share what you learned so far. I don't post the same thing on all social platforms. I post different things to different platforms. And I can talk more about that. But what did you guys learn? Andrew, unmute yourself because Andrew's a new client, brand new, first time doing this.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, and welcome.
There's a lot to learn, and I do empathize with the chap who was speaking earlier. I can't remember his name, apologies, possibly Greg, who thinks he's so far behind everyone else. And it's just clearly not true. Like, I'm yet to post in the past, I think, 2 weeks on LinkedIn. So I need to get into that consistency of being able to do stuff. And I think there's so much here that can help you in terms of for the rest of the week, if you went through the plan, people, pitch, lifetime templates, all of that, even if that took you a month to do, that's still going to put you 6 months, 12 months, 36 months ahead of everyone else who is just playing at this. And the fact, it was interesting about the story that you were talking about earlier. So I've been on LinkedIn for whatever, 12 years or so. And over that time, I've managed to get up to 24,000 connections. I've never made a penny off LinkedIn at all. And I think it's because there hasn't been a strategy behind it. And it was interesting what you were saying about stories earlier. So I had a post, which I guess in inverted commas, you could say went viral, which I was going to take down. It had like 24,000 likes and 5,000 comments or something. But it was about when I got ill with depression 8 or so years ago. And I was thinking of removing that as a pinned post when you were talking about stories at the start of the call. But actually, that is part of the story. And a lot of people might resonate with that. I thought it might put people off working with us as a company, but I think potentially now not, because that humanizes a lot of the stuff which you're potentially trying to train people to do. Sorry, I'm rambling. What was your question?
You're doing great. I think you're doing great. Guys, let's give him a round of applause for rambling for us for a little bit. I love that. I want to know what you learned, and you did great. Well done. Well done. Andrew Darlau, do you want to share? Because we already had one Andrew speak. Tell us what you got out of this.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, just pick up the phone. I generally do not do that and just call people. I mean, you did that with me after I invited you to connect at some point. So I see the power of that. And then just using some of the tools to better show yourself, whether it's your header or all the other things that you talked about, to just put yourself out there and keep connecting. And I've found I've added probably 3,000 people in the last 3 years. And it's always from investing a little bit to get enough um, potential contacts that you can actually invite people and put a personal note. It's made all the difference. And if you don't know, LinkedIn Premium Career is a way to do that for only $170 a year. And you get hundreds of invitations where you can put the specific invitation. So connecting with people, that's the biggest thing.
Awesome. Awesome. If you want to put a link to the LinkedIn career thing in the chat, feel free to do that. Graham says, I want to share with something in the group. As a volume of support you're offering is incredible. Go ahead, Graham. You want to unmute yourself? Because you sent this to me privately, so no one can see that.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Joe?
I can hear you, and I can see a black screen. You know,
I'm sorry. How's that?
no, now I see you. I was going to say, once you,
Ex
here we go. I'm going to hit share spotlight for everybody. Go ahead, share.
okay. So I have been hearing, there's a lot of confusion around, where am I? Am I making progress? And Joe is, as I put in the comment, is sharing a tremendous amount of value. And what I've found helpful is just to lay out a roadmap. So as we get these new insights that Joe's sharing, we've got a place to put them. And from today's session alone, I've heard Joe talking about basically the discovery phase. Who are the audience that I'm looking to serve? What pain points do they have? Why am I uniquely positioned to solve them? And then once we have an understanding of that, then we can build out our LinkedIn profile and our company page so that it's abundantly clear to anybody who looks, I solve these problems. And more importantly, I enjoy doing it. And there's no doubt that anybody listening in today understands that Joe loves what he's doing. Okay, so now I've got a stage with my profile and company page. Now I'm going to build out the network of people who I want to do business, people who have the pain points that I can solve. I've got a stage, I've got an audience. Now I'm posting, I'm sharing content that establishes my expert authority. Because you're building value with your content, now you can ask permission for people to join you on a webinar, to join a group or follow your company page. And then we're showing interest in people with hyper-personalized messaging or comments. All of these areas Joe has touched upon in the hour and 20 minutes that he's been on the phone. And I hope that this can help you triage, okay, he shared that insight. Where should it go in my journey? All right. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, appreciate you very much. Thank you for sharing all that. Was that helpful, guys? Right, helpful in the chat, just to give him some love for being out there and showing us that screen and giving us encouragement. I know it can be hard for some people because growing a business is never easy. It's not easy because if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy. Building a brand is not easy. But you didn't sign up to do something easy. You signed up to do the work. And there is work in networking. It's actually in the word networking. There's work. It's a lot of work. And often we don't see the results of the networking right away. And that can be very frustrating if you're not making money right now. That's why they say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, because you have to really love what you do. You have to love people. You really have to love people. I know a lot of people that don't love people. They're like, I actually hate people. People are stupid. They're so stupid. I hear that from people. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not going to do great at networking and you should not be in sales. Let's put you in the back of the office right now. Mike Larkin raised his hand. Mike, what do you?
Yes. Yes. I wanted to, the number one, I mean, it was after everything that you taught us today, what have you, but the one statement just resonated, and I think it should resonate with everybody, is that, asking permit, what was that?
Coaching permission.
Yeah. Connecting without permission is criticism.
Coaching without is criticism.
Coaching without, is criticism. And I just think that what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go in and I'm going to build a couple personas to make sure that I ask for permission, some different ways to ask for permission from people before we move on to, the next stage of your sales funnel or your nurturing funnel, whatever you want to call it, from that standpoint. But I think that was the number one thing right now that just resonated with me.
Sometimes you guys are going to be with me for an hour, and some things are going to go into your subconscious, and some things are going to go to your conscious, and you're going to get one or two things that you can implement in your business. And if you go to a seminar and you implement one or two things, you're doing more than 99% of people. So you don't have to get everything. I want you to know you don't have to get everything, because I'm going to be repeating a lot of this stuff over the next year. Because most of the things that I talk about, I've been talking about for years, and people have been listening to it and not getting it. And sometimes it takes a while to get a joke. If you didn't get it, it's okay. You'll get it eventually. You hang around with us long enough, eventually you start getting it, and then you get it by doing. You get it by experiencing, by being part of it, by leaning into it. Mike mentioned something that triggered me just a little bit, triggered a thought for me just a little bit in a positive way. And I want you guys to know about a concept called the marketing funnel. Ever heard of the marketing funnel? When I heard about this, I was like, oh my God, there's a funnel? There's 3 steps. There's many more, but I'm going to break it down into 3 steps so that you guys understand strategically what the marketing funnel is. There's the top of the funnel where people become aware of you. It's called awareness. They don't even know who you are. They're just aware of you. You just entered their radar. You're brand new. Most people in the world don't even know you exist. And when they see your name, it means nothing to them because you're just a name. Paul Brown. Who's Paul Brown? I don't know. He enters my life. Now I'm aware that he exists. I still don't know much about Paul Brown, but I know that he exists. I know he's a person. I saw him on the cruise. I saw he was wearing a red shirt. I saw he was sitting alone at times. And I was like, wow, Paul Brown, he exists. Then I saw him in the jacuzzi and we built a relationship. That's the second level. We built trust. The middle, right? So first awareness, then we built trust. And then during the trust building process, I realized, you know what? I really like this person. I want to put this person into my circle. I want to bring him in close. So you get to like the person because you get to know about their life. So trust is more, oh, the person has authority. He's a real estate expert. He knows what he's doing. But like is me getting to know them personally and seeing that we have similar values and we resonate on a similar frequency. And that's the bottom of the funnel when the person becomes the client. People do business with other people that they what? Put it in the chat. That they what? 3 words. It's a famous saying. Everyone should know this saying. People do business with other people that they what? I love it. Paul Brown put the KLT. It's like a BLT, but with a KLT. Because I don't eat bacon. He knows it. He puts K. K stands for kosher. Okay. Know, like, and trust. I love it. You guys know this. But often we don't realize there's a funnel and a process. When you get to know somebody, you just see them, you just connect with them, you don't trust them yet. Then you see they have expertise and value. And then you actually get to know who they are. Now you're at the bottom of the funnel. Out of my 30,000 connections, most of them don't even know that I exist. I need to create that knowledge, that knowing. That's where exposure comes in. That's where posting comes in. People say, oh, I've seen you around. I don't even know who you are. I've seen you around. So if I call somebody and I start giving them advice and they've only seen me around, I didn't earn the right to give them advice or to get them as a client. I didn't earn that right. There's another way to get people to know that you exist is to send them a message. My recommendation is send a minimum of 10 messages a day. If you're not sending 10 messages a day on LinkedIn, if I look at your DMs right now and you didn't send 10 messages today, yesterday, the day before, and you're complaining that you're not making money, I'm literally going to tell you you're not working. It's work to send messages. It's work emotionally. But I'm going to teach you a strategy right now to be able to send messages every day. You can a minimum of 10. And again, there's an unlimited amount of, we have a thing called greeting, feeding, and meeting, a strategy. Do you guys know the greeting, feeding, and meeting strategy? Very simple. The first step is greet somebody. When somebody connects with you, be a mensch and say, thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn. Don't give them a burden and don't give them all your bullshit because nobody cares about you. They're just knowing you. That's the top of the funnel. Then then you're getting a little lower and then you're going into feeding. You're feeding people. Invitations, introductions, information, ideas. You get it? All the eyes. You're feeding them. You're asking them questions about themselves. You're building curiosity. You're feeding them. That's the middle, feeding. You're not selling. You're not talking about yourself. You're asking them questions. And then the bottom is meeting, getting on the phone with them, building a relationship. You don't want to get on the phone with someone that doesn't even know anything about you unless you had some initial interaction or they're connected to you or something. There's something there. Because if you call them out of the blue and there's no context, then it's spam. If there's no context, it's often spam. There needs to be some context. There needs to be some curiosity. So I'll pick up the phone and call anybody on LinkedIn, but I need to have some context, some reasons for me to call them. People do things for reasons. People do things. Have you guys ever heard of this book called Influence? Very popular book about how to influence people in business. It's a sales book. Highly recommended. The concept of influence, I think the guy's name is Peter Cialdini. Am I right? Is it Peter Cialdini? Influence? Yeah. And he says that people do things for reasons. One of the ways to influence somebody is just to give them a reason of why you want them to do whatever you want them to do. So often, I'll give them a reason of why I call them. I'll give them a reason of why I'll message them. You have a reason. All right, so let's take a look at some reasons to DM people because this is something that's very hard for people. Let's go look. All right, so I'm going to open up and I'm going to give you guys 10 reasons to DM people today. Okay? And you have to be doing this every single day. If we go into evyAI and we log in and we click on Learning Hub and we click on Quick Links, I strategically put 10 reasons to DM people right in here in the quick links. You're going to be like, holy shit, Joe, I didn't even know that you secretly did that. First of all, we have something called a daily workflow that you guys can download from our Learning Hub, which has a morning routine, a mid-afternoon, morning, late afternoon, and an end-of-day routine. Okay, so this tells you exactly what to do every day, and you can mix it up based on what you want to do. All right, so you go back there and get it later. Now, I'm going to go here. Reason number 1, somebody changes their job. So if I click on job changes, it's going to give you a list of all the people that have changed jobs recently. If someone's changed jobs recently, is it a reason to call the person? Yes or yes? Yes, they just changed jobs. So I'm going to click on this person, this guy Scott Wolf. I'm going to click on his name right here. You see that? I'm going to click on his name right here. I'm going to click on contact info. Try to find his cell phone somewhere. I know I have his cell phone somewhere. I'm going to click here. I didn't find his cell phone there. I'm going to try to look for his. I know I have it in my contacts. But I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on Apollo. Apollo.io is a tool that often gives you big data on people. I don't know why it says no data found. I'm going to refresh. Let's just see if I have it here. I'm also going to open my CRM to see if he's in my CRM. Let's try to find Scott Wolf in my CRM. I'm going to search Scott Wolf. Just giving you guys an example. Scott Wolf is here. I definitely messaged him on WhatsApp. Scott Wolf. Let's see. Ben Wolf. I don't know why I don't have his cell phone number here, but let me see if I can pull it from Apollo just to show you guys where it is. I'm going to hit access email. I'm going to hit access cell phone number. Let's see if it finds his number. I know Zach introduced me to him. Here you go. I have 2 phone numbers here. I have a 718 number and a 646 number. Let me quickly try to call it and see if it works. In the meantime, let me go here and do... Scott Wolf. Let's see. Did it ring? I'm not sure if it rang. Let me see. The Wolf Media. Jeff meets Scott. I don't know. It's not ringing here. I know I have his cell phone somewhere, but I'm going to message him right now. Let me message him right now. And I'm going to say the following. Oh, my cell is 646. Okay, so I think he called me already. I called him. He called me. Let me go here and just show you guys. Check this out. I'm going to click on evyAI. And I'm going to use the microphone to make it fast. Check this out. Scott, I see you have a new position, and I'm thrilled. Can you send me your cell phone number? I'd love to call you about something. I'm going to press insert. Now, I just sent Scott a message. Do you see? I had a reason to message him. Now, I built a little bit of curiosity here. I didn't tell him what I want to call him about. But I have a relationship with the guy. The guy knows who I am, and I know who he is. We've spoken before, as you can see. I just, for some reason, his cell phone number is just missing from all my stuff. I don't know why. But do you guys see this? You guys see we have a relationship? The reason I found him, and he's one of my 10 for the day, is because I used the Learning Hub. And what did I click on? I clicked on Job Changes. That was just one example. Let's do LinkedIn anniversaries. That's the second example. All these people are having an anniversary here. So I go into Costa. I'm going to click on his name. Click on contact info. See, he's not here. I definitely have his cell phone. I'm going to click on message. And I'm going to say, let's see, the cell is here. I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to message him. And I'm going to say, congrats on your JK moving anniversary. How are you celebrating? Chocolate cake? Now, I misspelled chocolate cake. That's fine. But do you guys see I had a reason to DM him? He had his anniversary with JK Moving. Why do I want to message him? JK Moving paid me a lot of money to train their team. They brought me down to DC. And this guy Costa is the guy in charge of bringing me down again this year. I didn't have a reason to message him before I clicked on evyAI's Learning Hub and saw he had an anniversary. Now I start the conversation, greeting, feeding, and then I'm going to say, what's your cell? Let's get on a quick call. I have his cell anyway. I have it in we WhatsApped. But do you guys get what I'm saying? You guys understand what I'm doing here? This is 2 of 10 reasons to message somebody. I'm going to give you another reason. Here, let's go. Let's go to another reason. Go back into the Learning Hub. LinkedIn birthdays. Look at all these people that have birthdays. Lucy Hutchinson. I'm going to click on Lucy's birthday. Lucy here. I'm going to click on contact info. She's in Mexico. Don't have her phone number. Here. She is in Mexico. Click on message. Now, I do have a template inside evyAI that I can use, a birthday template inside evyAI. So I click on templates. I'm going to save her profile here, but let me click on templates. And I could load up all the templates that I have here. You see this? You can look through the templates, and you can set different types of templates. And you can select the type of templates that you have. So maybe you have a message template. See, these are all the message templates. I have happy belated birthday. I have happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. Do you see all that? I'm going to click here. Let's see. So if somebody had a happy belated birthday, I can say happy belated birthday or happy birthday. I don't know why this is zoomed in or zoomed out. Here we go. And I could send her a message. I can go in here. I can use this under generate context message. The goal is to wish her happy birthday. You see that? I can use my persona, the Joe Apfelbaum optimized persona. I hit generate. It'll read the whole thing and wish her happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lucy. Hope your day's filled with joy. You see that? I press the up arrow. It inserts it, and I press send. You guys see the way that I did that here? How quickly I was able to wish her a happy birthday? Another person that I messaged because of that. Next, what is another reason to message people? Well, you scroll down. You click on something that says recent connections. You see that it says recent connections here? I click on recent connections. It loads all the people that recently connected with me on LinkedIn. For example, Tony Kaufman or Amy Sadich or Thomas. I click on Tony Kaufman. I click on contact info. I see that she's in Spring, Texas. Me and her were on the cruise together. See, her phone number is right here. I go into my CRM. I click on the call button here. I paste the phone number and I hit call. And it calls Tony Kaufman. And let's see if she'll pick up.
The subscriber you have dialed is not in service.
Oh, well, the phone number is not in service. A reason to what? A reason to what, ladies and gentlemen? Tell me. A reason to
Messenger.
Yep. A reason to message her. So now I'm going to message her and I'm going to say the following. Tony, I just tried to call you on the number that's on your LinkedIn profile and it said your phone number is not in service. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but you might want to update that phone number. Okay. Tony? Do you see what just happened here? I said, Tony, I just tried to call you with your phone number and your LinkedIn profile says the phone number is not in service. Not sure if aware of that. You might want to update that phone number. Now, I have her phone number, her real phone number. I have it on WhatsApp because she's in a WhatsApp group that I'm part of. I'm also connected to her on what? On Facebook. If I click the little drop down over here, and then I click on, do you see where it says search profile? And then I click on Facebook. I click on search. It searches for Tony Kaufman on Facebook. Now I click on her profile. You see it says has the same photo of her. We have a pending connection request here on Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on message here. And I'm going to click in here and I can generate a message right from the side panel to here. But in this case, I'm just going to write it. I'm going to say, would you be open to accepting my friend request on Facebook? You see that? Would you be open to accepting my friend request on Facebook? Just like that. How easy was that? Somebody didn't connect with you. And you can also see the connection, the pending connection request that you have inside evyAI. You see it says pending sent connections. So anybody that I sent a connection request, I can call them and say, would you be open to accepting the connection request? You see that? Like this guy, Carrie. I can send him a message. I can send him an email. I can call him. And I can ask him for that information. Like if he's willing to connect with me. If he's willing to accept the connection request. I happen to know that this profile is not one he doesn't have access to. So because he doesn't have access to the profile, he can't accept my connection request. I'm going to withdraw it because it's useless. And I already was on his summit. He just got me on his summit. That's why I sent it to him. Mark Stern, I want to build a relationship with him. I said it was nice having dinner. He didn't accept it. It's a reason for me to what? To message him. I'm going to say wait. Okay, let me just see what's going on over here. Now, there are many other reasons to message people. I just showed you a couple. I showed you a handful of messages. Is this enough? Write enough in the chat. Enough of a reason for you to be able to get 10 messages a day out. I can give you many more. Do you have a template for asking for a recommendation? I do. And I have a 5-step process more than a template for asking for a recommendation. If you want to get recommendations on LinkedIn, this is what you would do. You guys want to learn how? Because everybody needs to have at least one good recommendation every month. So this is what you do. Step number 1 is you ask somebody, what did you think of my product, service, conversation, relationship, post, whatever it is? You ask them, what did you think of whatever? So I'm going to ask Jeff Shada. Jeff, unmute yourself if you don't mind. You can. Jeff, what do you Jeff, what do you think about evyAI and the Evyrgreen networking system?
It blows me away. It is, I've used LinkedIn for probably 7, 8 years, dabbling up to the networking level and thought I was like killing it. And then first time I interfaced with you is like, wow, I got a lot to learn. Anyhow, on the scoreboard, ready to learn.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Would you be open to leaving me a LinkedIn recommendation with what you just said?
Certainly.
Awesome. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. You guys see what happened? I first asked him what he loved most about the program. Then I said, would you be open to leaving me a recommendation? Now, you can do this through the DM as well. You can do it through a phone call. I recommend phone call, Zoom, or something, but you can do it through the DM. And when he says yes, can I rely on him to know how to do this technically? No, he's not going to.
No.
Not going to technically know how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to his profile and I'm going to initiate it. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. So I'm going to go to Jeff's profile. So step number 3 is initiate. So Jeff, you have to be connected to the person for them to leave you a recommendation. Just FYI. You cannot get a recommendation from someone you're not connected to. I click on Jeff's profile. And when you see it says first degree here, you see it says first degree next to his name, that means we're connected. Then I click the more button, which is a secret little button that most people cannot see. Even if I tell them where it is, they're like, where's the more button? I said, it's spelled M-O-R-E. Click on it. They're like, where? I don't see it. It's right next to the message button. Message, more. Oh, okay. Then when they click on it, I click on request recommendation. You see 3 words, request a recommendation. I click on that. Then it asks me various questions. Relationship, I'm going to say it's complicated. Just kidding. Jeff was a client of mine. Then I'm going to say position at the time, my favorite position. Never thought you'd ask. Founder of evyAI. Then it's going to ask, what do you like to personalize this? And instead of me just leaving it like this, step 4 is to tell him what he just said to me. Please, about how much you love evyAI and Evyrgreen and how you learned so much after thinking you knew LinkedIn. Thank you so much. You see that? I gave him what to write about based on what he told me. Then I hit send. And when I hit send, he will then receive a message saying Joe requested a recommendation in his DM. Now he can click into his DM and he can write me a recommendation. And then the next step would be I have to approve it. And the way that I approve it is I go to my own profile. I click on view profile. And then by the way, I love my new banner. I love it. I love that it says evyAI, join our WhatsApp group, and there's a QR code there. I absolutely love it. Now I'm going to scroll down. Under my recommendations, you're going to notice that I have how many recommendations? You guys see how many I have? How many recommendations do I have? Should I zoom in? Over 500 recommendations. My goal is to get to 1,000. I know it's a lot. I would love to get to 1,000. But if you go to that section and you click on view recommendations, you'll be able to see your pending recommendations. To leave someone a recommendation with evyAI is really easy. It's not hard to leave a recommendation. I can show you how to leave one, and I can show you how to leave one with evyAI to make it easy. But I recommend that you guys leave recommendations for the people in your network. Leave each other recommendations. We should make a recommendation party, by the way, where we leave each other recommendations. That could be fun. Once we get to know each other. But if I wanted to leave, for example, Tom Wells a recommendation, what would I say? So I go to Tom Wells's profile. This is what I would do. I would search for Tom Wells. And I know that Tom Wells doesn't build wells. Paul builds wells. All that is well. What's the saying? All that is well, or something. I don't know. All that is well is well. So I have to ask AI about that. But I went to Tom Wells's profile. I scrolled down to his profile to see the last recommendation he got. And I see that the last one he got was almost a year ago. So it's time for him to get a new one. So I'm going to click the more button. And then I'm going to click recommend. Do you see it says recommend here? Recommend. Do you see that? So I'm going to click recommend. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select our relationship. I'm going to say Tom was a client of mine. Position, when he was the bookkeeping person. And then in the recommendation box, I may not know what to say. So that's where what comes in handy? evyAI. The side panel also is available right over here. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to click on this little dot here. And I'm going to put the microphone on and I'm going to say the following. Tom is an incredible bookkeeper and a great networking relationship. He is a lovely client and I love serving him and helping him with his business. I introduce him to the accountants in my network because I trust him, and I also introduce him to my other clients because I know he'll do a great job with his bookkeeping services. I highly recommend you hire Tom if you need some bookkeeping services, and I highly recommend that you build a relationship with him because he is great at networking and will refer business to you. Tom is a giver. So I'm going to press generate. And what it's going to do is it's going to take this and turn it into more organized paragraphs than what I'd said with my half a brain. Okay. I had the pleasure of working with Tom well. I can confidently say he's an exceptional bookkeeper, a fantastic networking partner, his expertise in financial clarity, blah, blah, blah. I trust Tom so much that I've introduced him to accountants and other clients in my network, his ability to deliver, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I press send. Now, all Tom needs to do is to go into his messages, into his pending recommendations and accept it, and then it will show up live on his profile. What I recommend that you guys do is once you get a recommendation from someone in your network, that you take a screenshot of it and then you repurpose that as a post, because people won't automatically know that you received a recommendation. Does it make sense? Put a $ if this makes sense, because building trust requires social proof. Put a $ in the chat. All that is well ends well. I love that. Thank you.
Hey, Joe.
Go ahead.
Hey, it's Tom.
Hi, Tom.
I just want to give you, hey, no, I just want to, for the room, I know you always point out about others being givers, but for everyone that doesn't know, Joe is the king of giving. So I appreciate you, man.
Oh,
appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Why do you say that?
Yeah, because not very often do we work with someone with as much exposure as you give us about LinkedIn, or others that have expertise that if I pick up the phone and call you on a Friday late day just to chat and update and give some thanks back, you pick it up. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. And I pride myself in putting my cell phone number on my profile. A lot of people, they're afraid of sharing their cell phone number as if it's gold, as if it's some secret social security number. Yes, I'm not going to share my social security number because I'm not dumb, but I am here to network. Someone called me from a 973 number while we were on this, and I didn't pick up. I texted them and I said, I can't take the phone right now because I'm busy. Text me. That's okay. Now, that person that called me is a prospect. They want to learn more about our bundle. They sent the word bundle to 973-841-8868. They got a bundle link back, and they want to sign up to our bundle. I don't have the ability to speak to him right now because I'm prioritizing you guys right now and building a relationship with you guys, but I will call him back later. I put my cell phone number on my profile because I want people to call me. Even people that want to try to sell me something, I have enough self-confidence that people can't take advantage of me and try to sell me something I don't need or want, because I will dance with them. I will play with them, and hopefully I will turn them into a paying customer. So that's my thought process. Anytime somebody calls me with a problem, I try to solve the problem. Sometimes it's by me referring them to Tom Wells. That's the idea. Amelia says, how do you manage giving all the personalized, authentic attention without cloning yourself? If you looked at my business plan, you'll notice in the section where I asked for help, where I said, what is my support system? I had a dozen people listed there, or so. Let's just say a dozen. I have a lot of people helping me with a lot of things. Jen, how much more time do we have?
We have 10 minutes left, Joe.
I have a real human being sitting with me everywhere I go. Why? Because I don't know where I am. I have someone cleaning my house because I'm not going to clean my house. I want to clean my house. I enjoy sweeping and mopping and polishing, but I prioritize doing this because I get more enjoyment from this. I have someone creating a room for my daughter and an attic for my daughters so that they can enjoy having their own brand new room. I can do the construction myself. My dad and I used to do construction together in the Lower East Side. We used to build out my mother's store, and he taught me how to use a drill and do drywall and all this other things. And that's why I do that with my kids now as well. I have fun with them. That was a moment that I had with my dad that I'll cherish for the rest of my life, where he taught me how to pre-drill a hole in a wall. And I was so happy using a drill. Now I teach my kids and we build things together. What I want you guys to know is that hiring other people to help you do the things that you don't have the time to do or that you don't necessarily enjoy doing as much as enjoying doing something else is a competitive advantage. That's why I mentioned earlier, hire someone on Fiverr, hire someone on Upwork, hire people in this community to do things for you. It's a competitive advantage. If you don't have the ability to do sales, hire a part-time salesperson. Somebody hired somebody to go on the cruise that I went on recently to network for them. Hire a networker to network for you if you don't want to network yourself. It's okay to hire people. And you might say, oh, I can't afford somebody. Well, there are people in the world that are willing to work for $400 a month, full time. Somebody told me recently he lives in Mexico. He pays $2,000 a month for rent in a community in the mountains of Mexico. And he pays $400 a month for a full-time live-in nanny. I was like, $400 a month for a full-time live-in nanny? He's like, yeah, they're great. They cook, they clean, they take care of the kids. They literally do everything. He's like, why do you think I live in Mexico in a luxury house for $2,000 a month? I was like, where can I move in? When? When can I move in? Yeah, and we have high-speed internet, he said. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely coming to Mexico. I want to go check it out. But you can hire people, and you don't have to hire them for a full month. You can hire them for a day. There are people that would be happy to work for $1 an hour in the world. And there are people that are happy to work for $1,000 an hour. Like the lawyer that I hired to speak to LinkedIn to try to get them off our back. Amelia says, how do you manage to... Okay, so that's the answer to that. Dr. Steve says, I'm not able to see you and your profile on LinkedIn yet. Could you send me your link for your WhatsApp group or post it here? Thank you. So if you're not able to see, you're not able to see the new banner yet. That's what he's saying. He's not able to see the new banner. So the place where the banners are, just so you know, the place where the banners are is, remember I told everyone to post their LinkedIn banners in the comments? And I posted my LinkedIn banner right here. You see that? So this LinkedIn banner is here with the QR code, Dr. Steve. You see that? I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to hit copy and I'm going to see if I can get this into the comments of Zoom here. Boom, I just did it. I got it into the comments of Zoom. Do you see how easy that was, Dr. Steve? So that's a separate WhatsApp group that I have. And you need to get approved for that WhatsApp group because I started getting a lot of spam. So you can turn on approval on a WhatsApp group to approve specific people. Because there's a lot of spammers that were going into that group and just writing a bunch of shit. So how do I get invited to the Tuesday accountability group? Speak to Evan Messman or speak to Rick. Or go to the community. We have, Howard, we have a calendar in the community. And the link is in the community. So right here, you click on calendar. Right here, you see it says calendar. And then you go to Tuesday at 5 p.m. You see 5 p.m. Tuesday. And the link to the Zoom is right here. You see that? And you can add it to your calendar right here. So it's all available for you right inside the community. Right here in the community. Somebody said, Joe, how do I join the Influencer Summit? You go right here. Influencer Summit. It's in the community. It's in the calendar. Invite all of your connections. Here's another thing you can DM people. Remember I said there's greeting, feeding, and meeting? Greeting, feeding, and meeting. Feeding is inviting people to things. So if you're going to be going to an event, a conference, a cruise, you're going to be going to something, invite every one of your connections by asking them permission and being curious to see if they'd like to join you. Hey, I'm attending an influencer summit with 8 of the top LinkedIn influencers on February 19th. Would you like to join me? It's virtual. You can send that to every one of your connections as a way to open the door to start a conversation. You guys get that? It's easy to do, and everyone on LinkedIn could benefit from it, and it's free. Now, some people, are they going to get upset that you messaged them asking them a question? Sure. Some people will get upset. But if you haven't pissed anybody off by 12 p.m., you're not networking hard enough. You're going to piss people off if you say hello to them, especially in Brooklyn. Sometimes I'll say hello to somebody in Brooklyn. I'm like, hi. The guy looks at me. He's like, what's your problem? Huh? I was like, what? I just said hi. He's like, don't say hi. Mind your own mother effing business. We're in Brooklyn here, all right? I was like, okay, I'm moving to New Jersey. Goodbye. It literally happens. Try that. Go to Brooklyn and say hello to somebody. He's like, what you looking at, huh? What you looking at? Like that. Interesting. I lived in Brooklyn all my life. I got used to it. I would look at him and say, I'm looking at you. You got a problem? And he's like, no, man, I ain't got no problem. And that's it. And he backs off. Most people wouldn't do that. Most people will just like bury themselves and run. Yulia said I had this in Toronto. So if it happens in Brooklyn, it's going to happen on LinkedIn too. People are going to get upset. But then you just disconnect and you move on. There's a billion people on LinkedIn. People love to buy. They hate being sold, but they love to buy. Go to Walmart. You'll see lines of people buying things they don't need with money they don't have for people they don't even like. It's just the reality of life. People love to buy. What you need to do is figure out people's problems, figure out people's desires. And if you can figure out your ideal client's problems and desires and solve it for them. Alex Harmozy said the following. He said, your clients and your prospects will trust you when you know their problems more than they do themselves. You need to tell your clients, hey, I know what you're suffering from. I know where you're at, and I'd love to support you and guide you. And get on the phone with them and have a conversation. People are lonelier than ever. People are lonelier than ever. I don't know if you guys saw statistics that a very large percentage of people that have people around them are lonely. You go to a big city, you walk around, and you could be very lonely with people everywhere. Does that resonate with you? Right? Resonate in the chat. People are very lonely. Especially on LinkedIn, especially on Facebook. People are very lonely. Now you might say, what's the difference between LinkedIn and Facebook? LinkedIn is professional. Facebook is personal. So I want to have a personal relationships with my business relationships that I like. So then I switch from LinkedIn to Facebook too. I have 30,000 on LinkedIn, close to 5,000 on Facebook. That's the limit on Facebook. So I try to get to my limit on everything. I push the limits. I tried that with my ex and it worked. I'm no longer married. I push the limits. I do. I push the limits. But when there's boundaries, I respect them. I push the limits. Guys, push the limits a little bit. Push the limits of yourself, of your own limitations. Set big goals. Get accountability. Get your accountability partner. Make sure that you have one. There are so many people here that want an accountability partner. If you want accountability partner, say, I want accountability in the chat. And find someone that you can meet with on a regular basis. They won't charge you anything. They'll connect with you and build a relationship. So who's your accountability buddy? Where's a group of 2 or 3 people that you meet with daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly? Our next session is going to be March 5th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the session after is going to be April 2nd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I hope that you guys make it a priority to join. You're not just going to get it one time. You're going to get it by coming over and over and over to these things. We have calendar links that are available to you. We have a community that's available to you. Repurpose your content. Use polls to survey your audience. Make sure that you're mentioning people using mentions in a strategic way. And be in the community. And realize that if you're struggling with somebody, there's somebody there that can help you. There are people that can actually help you. We have a step-by-step guide, a step-by-step checklist inside our community and inside our classroom, inside our course. So go check it out. Go to evergreen.com, log in, and go through this step-by-step guide of Brandon, building, and booming. Make sure that you review your checklist, your headline, your call to action, your name pronunciation, your optimized pronoun, that you go through this stuff. And remember, the 4 most important things to do on LinkedIn is posting, engaging, messaging, and connecting. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this or take a photo of it with your phone. Feel free to do that. It could be fun. Because if you did these 4 things, you'd be good, golden. You do this every day. This is something that you do in 15 minutes a day with evyAI. You can do it. It doesn't take long to write a post, to engage, to message, to connect, to build a relationship. So think about this. You could post a text-only post, an image post, a short video post, a long-form video post, an article, a newsletter, events, polls. There's so many different types of things you can do, but don't overthink it. When in doubt, just post something. The most important post of the year could be your business networking one sheet and try to get 100 likes and 100 comments on it. Customize your persona to leave smart comments. How many comments do you leave on LinkedIn each day? I recommend 5 minimum a day. I personally leave 50 a day. The people that you need to be leaving comments for are your people that are centers of influence. Comments on the feed, top industry influencers, comments on pages, Sales Nav alert comments, posts with no comments that you can find the link of those in the Learning Hub. Comments to older posts. You can scroll back and leave comments on a post that somebody did a year ago, and it'll really wake them up. They'll be like, damn, this person's paying attention to me. Set up at least 10 scenario templates for direct messaging, like recent connections, happy birthday, happy anniversary, job changes, recently viewed profile, thanks for engagement, messages based on your first name, upcoming holiday message, did you see my content message, learn about your connections. I know we're at time. But if you guys can continue, say I can continue. If you need to go, now is the time that you can go, and you can catch a replay to see what else we talk about here for a couple more minutes. Jen said, please start wrapping up. But if you want to continue, just write continue in the chat. But if you need to go, you have permission to go. This is fun, right? Isn't this fun? I want to respect your time. We have much more to learn, but we have all year to learn. You know that I go on LinkedIn Live very often, right? You can go back and watch my lives. Yesterday, I went on live for 2 hours. You go back, and you can have even something called a watch party. Do you guys know what a watch party is? Where you get together with groups of people and you watch together. You watch something like the plan, the people, the promise, and you guys fill it out together. You build those relationships. Andrew says, I need to go but I'm holding out for this gold. 2 hours? Go I'll wait. Go I won't do anything major while you go Yulia, what did you get from this?
I think for me, I've been on and off the community for a while, and then I think what I love is the going step by step always, because I think my challenge has been like I love sharing stories, but then I think I jump into the middle of process. And that's why I don't see the results. And then I kind of got bored with it. I don't see the results. And I was like, okay, I have to go review what my first 3 Ps were, right? Like what I need to refresh, or, and I think biggest one as well, like continue to connect with people, even in this group. There's so many awesome new faces, and faces from all times as well. And seeing joy I'm inspired to action. That's the biggest outcome of the session. Very grateful, John. You're mute.
Am I muted? No. I was going to say, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Greg. Go ahead. Thank you, Yulia.
Hey, John, I'm sorry. Were you finished? I didn't want to interrupt. If I want to learn more, do I go to evyAI.com or evergreen.com?
We have courses on evergreen.com, evyRgreen.com, and you press login and there are courses. And if you go to evyAI.com, that's where our AI for LinkedIn sits. And they're kind of interlinked together. They're separate companies. evyAI is a software company, and Evyrgreen is a training company where we offer training.
Which one's better for me? Training?
I would say is you need both. You already have access to both, and you need both. But I would say go to the accountability meetings on Tuesday at 5 p.m. and tap into the knowledge that Evan, Rick, and the rest of the people that have been with us for years, and ask them to guide you, and support you and hold you accountable. My opinion for you, Greg, is you need to start getting on the phone with 20 people a day. You need to start making 20 calls every single day. That's the only, if I was your doctor, that's what I would prescribe to you.
That's easy.
That's all. You do that, Greg, and your business will generate $100,000 in profit minimum this year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Wendy, I want you to share for a moment. You mentioned something beautiful in the comments. I wanted to just give you the spotlight if you can. Just share with us what you loved most about this.
Um, I love the fact that every time I come on, and that hasn't been a lot because I'm still pretty new, I learn something that is foundational, something that I can use immediately, something that I can, use today, and helps me down the path that by the end of the year, I'm confident that I will have my business growing based upon LinkedIn, which is what I really want because I have to work from home. So I'm really thrilled being here. I appreciate everything that you share. I'm so excited about templates now that I know how to use them. And I'm going to use them today. I'm going to do all my comments and reach out to people. And it's just so absolutely amazing. This is the best training I have ever had in any topic anywhere.
Aw, thank you. That warms my heart. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for getting so much value. I appreciate you endlessly, Wendy. Sherry, you're new to the community. I appreciate meeting you on the cruise briefly, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you even more. Sherry, do you want to share with us what you got today? Were you here the whole time, Sherry?
No, I actually had a conflict with a previous appointment, but no, I love everything that I'm involved with. I am so thankful that I purchased the bundle, and just being on your calls and I'm at a loss for words, but I'm just very thankful because one thing I've noticed about you that we have in common is that I recognize your generosity. A person who's generous recognizes those who are also generous. And most of the time when we are out giving, we don't see a lot of people giving back to us. And I feel like our connection on the cruise and with your program and on these calls has just been incredible. And for those of you who weren't on the marketing cruise, I'm going to be spending the next year with Joe side by side because in the marketer's directory, Joe's on page 30 and I'm on page 31. So anytime anyone looks up Joe, they're going to be able to see my information on that side. So I'm a person that's willing to give back. And I just thank you for all that you're doing, Joe.
Thank you. That warms my heart. I really appreciate that very much. And Dr. Steve was on the cruise as well. Dr. Steve, you want to unmute yourself and share what you got today?
Yeah. I'm on 125. If you go on the cruise, you learn to get in the habit of saying your page number like 7,000 times. I'm trying to think of a singular thing, which is hard because there were such a multifarious number of tips. But I think ultimately it's about consistency. I think ultimately it's about it's like everything in business. You do the little things as well as you can every day. And then they accumulate and add up and they have this compounding effect. And over time, you don't realize, oh, I sent 1,000 messages this month, because you don't do 1,000 at a time. I'll also say this. I think the resources might be a little overwhelming because there's so much there. But I think you tend to get good at the ones that you use a lot. And I think it's better to have 100 things and use 10 than to have 8 and need 10. So I applaud you for having that. The last thing I'll say is this, and maybe other people have had this experience. I joined this kind of blindly. I met Joe on the cruise, actually the night before the cruise, technically. And we crossed paths and I was like, here's this guy always walking around with a camera, always smiling, always doing stuff. But the main reason I joined this was because I liked Joe and I trusted him. And I've been on LinkedIn like a lot of people forever. And I always felt like Is anybody ever going to get traction here? I gotten business from it, not big, but enough to make it worthwhile. And I joined it because I trusted him. I liked him. It's that whole no like trust thing. And that was the whole point. I didn't join it because I knew there was 500 tips on a school site. So and I think coming today reinforced, I think I made the right decision. There's so much value in the last 2 hours, and so that this might be worth the whole year in a sense if I just take advantage of it. So I appreciate that. Hopefully I didn't go on too long, but
You did perfect. You did
yeah.
perfect. For those of you that are still here, we do have an affiliate program that I want you guys to know, to be aware of. So if you're getting a lot of value, there are 10 people in your life that probably would get the same amount of value, plus plus. And so I want you to benefit financially from being part of this. I want you to be my partner in this. So if you go to evyai.com/affiliate, make sure to get your affiliate link. And then you can share the knowledge that you got here today with some other people and tell them, hey, if you want to really get it from the source, I suggest that you get the tool, and you can even give them access to the bundle. The bundle's not available for everybody and for always, but your friends, you can bring 10 friends onto the bundle. And I'd be more than happy to honor that and pay you 20% reoccurring for 3 years. That's how the affiliate program works. So if you're interested in being part of it, just go to evyai.com/affiliate, get your affiliate link, and then find 10 people in your world that you can bring into this with you, because that could be an extremely powerful way for you to expand what you do and also to earn money on a regular basis from doing that as well. Every person on LinkedIn that's there to network can benefit from being part of this. So that can be very, very powerful. So once again, thank you for being here. Looking forward to getting to know all of you personally and professionally. And I'm here if you need us, if you need me, and my team is here if you need us. hello@evyai.com for any questions that you might have. And the replay for this will be in evergreen.com under the coaching sessions. And it'll also be under school.com/thought leaders. We're putting it in there as well, putting it in 2 places. So I'll see you guys soon. And my assistant is telling me that I have a call starting in 60 seconds. I want to be respectful. But I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, we're going to make sure to put all the links there under this video. So wherever you're going to see this video, all the links that we mentioned will also be under this video. And if you ever need anything, you're stuck, you need something, you're not sure, reach out to my team. I pay for a customer service team to sit there and answer questions, and they love doing it. Or you can post it in the community and somebody will answer you as well. And go get to know the other members that are in the community. We have a thriving community of over 700 engaged LinkedIn users. My goal is to get us to 1,000 this year. We're going to get way past that, but getting 1,000 engaged people is really, really powerful, and having access to them is really powerful. So thanks again. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Andrew, Yulia, Wendy, Dr. Steve. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Paul. And I'll see you guys on the next session. And I'll see you guys online because I'm on live literally almost every day. So I'll see you guys online. All right. Bye, everyone.